Joining us now on the News at 10 is legal practitioner Mr. Efa Otuoka. Is in our studio in Abuja. Mr. Otuoka, thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Let's look at the what the DSS has said. They're keeping Mr. Sowore because of what they say are treasonable actions, the border on treasonable felony. What is the position of the law on this? What really constitutes treasonable felony in Nigeria?
Well, Section 41 of the Criminal Code actually defines what treasonable felony amounts to. And one of its definitions is where someone or a group of people put an intention together to remove a democratically elected president before the term of his office expires, or where they seek to remove a governor before the term of his office expires through unconstitutional means. It also, one of the definitions of treasonable felony also includes an attempt to use force or coercion to make the president change counsel or change policies that would suit their intention. And to that extent, taking also in the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as to freedom of expression, it is neither here nor there, and depends on perception, depends on how a reasonable man would interpret the actions of Mr. Sowore and those who are agitating for the revolution. I guess where the problem comes in is with the use of the word revolution, because no matter how you look at that word, its intention is for a forceful overthrow of government. And the Criminal Code in Section 41 makes it clear that where you intend to use force to compel a change of government, it amounts to treasonable felony, no matter how you want to look at it.
Okay, so the DSS also cites the need to protect the nation's unity. Do you think this planned protest could have any impact on the nation's unity, considering all the groups have been reacting to it?
Certainly not. Certainly not. Certainly not. Our Constitution gives us Nigerians the right to peaceful assembly. So far, from statements read, I have not seen the video from Mr. Sowore. I've only read comments and statements from some of these organizations calling on Nigerians to come out and ask government to look into the complaints of the average Nigerian on the street. The average Nigerian on the street is hungry. The average Nigerian on the street is oppressed. The average Nigerian on the street sees injustice staring her in the face. And people have decided to come out and hold government accountable to her core responsibilities, and which is the protection of lives and properties. We all know that that has been at its lowest ebb, although government wants us to believe that they've been doing their best. We pray that is true, but Nigerians have a right to express their displeasure where they believe that the government they elected to protect them, to provide for them, is not doing what it's meant to do.
If I'm hearing you correctly, then this is just another anti-government protest, but it appears the government sees, some potential of this turning violent, perhaps, or people misinterpreting the purpose of a protest like this.
Now, the Nigerian police force, our courts have given judgment to that effect, that where citizens have intent to protest or express their displeasures to policies of government, that the duty of the police force is to guard against the breakdown of law and order. Now, the DSS, the police, and the government of the day would not be in the minds and the hearts of Nigerians to know that the protest would turn violent. Now, when citizens see law enforcement agents, an average citizen will want to abide by the law. And I don't think there's any need or the fear that the protest would turn violent. Right. I don't think there's any basis for that. In my opinion, I don't think there's a basis for that.
Mr. Oka, I appreciate your thoughts and your analysis on the issue tonight. Thank you for joining us on the News at 10.